I worked for 6 years on one of the best shows on television. I will have great stories for my grandkids, okay? I've worked with the best writers, producers, actors. Great stories for my grandkids. And Jim Cameron and Arnold Schwarzenegger were like, screw those people. True Lies comes out in 2 months. That will change everything. I was like, oh my God, I want to believe you, but I don't. But it did. Now, the movie True Lies, so I got that. Here's how you get a movie. You have an agent, and if you have an agent, your agent works very hard for you on 2 occasions, and 2 occasions only. Their first day, super excited, and their last day. Now, I got a call from my agent, and he's like, hey, Jim Cameron, Avatar, Titanic, Terminator, he wants to meet you for the movie True Lies, which I knew was bullshit, because I knew real actors were meeting for that part. And I told him, that's bullshit. You think we're leaving William Morris? He's like, oh, I swear. Well, at least read the script, he said. And Jim Cameron doesn't just send a script over to your house to peruse for the weekend. He has a dude stand next to you, and you can see his gun holstered. I'm not even shitting you. So that the second you're done, he can take it away from you so you don't tell anybody what's in it. But by page 12 of this script, I realized this part is too big. I will never get it. I'm like, is there a bartender that works like a half a day or some shit? Like, realistic? Yeah. And my agent's like, no, he still wants to meet with you. And I knew it was bullshit. Now it's a mercy meeting. He's begged him. And I had some self-esteem. But I thought, you know what? In 24 years, I'm gonna be at a theater in downtown LA that was last cleaned when the fucking Marx Brothers performed there. And I wanna brag that I met Jim Cameron. And this would be my only chance to meet Jim Cameron. So I went to his house, and he was very nice to me, and we chit-chatted a little bit. And then he's like, okay, Tom, do the audition scene. And I was like, yeah, I didn't even read it. He's like, oh my God, you didn't learn the audition scene. I go, no, because I know I'm not getting the movie, so why even try? Which is a lesson I want to teach my children. It just saves you so much time. And he was like, oh my gosh, well, you're here, it's 2 pages. Read this off this paper. So I read this one time, and then he said words that changed my life. He said, get Arnold down here. Now, I worked at a meatpacking plant for 3 years out of high school, on the kill floor. And I'll tell you this, if you work at a meatpacking plant on the kill floor, 2 things are facts. 1, you will get very drunk every day. And 2, you will have crazy ass dreams. Like that you're best friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay? And then you wake up at 4:45 a.m. and it'll be time to go chisel heads or whatever kind of shit job you got. You realize, oh my God, I live in Tupelo, Iowa. I work at the Hormel meatpacking plant. I will never fucking meet Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then 10 years later, he's walking right up on you there, just like your dream. And he comes up, and you do this scene together one time, and it's like when you met your wife or your best friend or your football team won a big game. In this universe, magic happens once in a while. And something clicked, and Jim Cameron put his script down and goes, holy hell, Tom, you got it. You got the part, but, that was perfect. But don't tell anyone for 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, I swear to God, I won't tell anyone the best news of my life for 2 weeks. But I'm gonna go out to my car to make some calls. Anyway, you guys, I call everybody I know. Nobody believes me. My own wife thinks I'm back on drugs. That night in front of my mirror, I'm watching my face and I'm like, wait a minute, maybe that didn't happen. Because that's crazy. Why would he ask me to wait 2 weeks? He didn't want to hurt my feelings, so he didn't tell me until after the movie came out. But he had to go to Fox Studios and give them the great news. Because at the time, it was the most expensive movie ever made. Hey guys, great news, we can start filming True Lies. I found the 3rd guy after Arnold and Jamie Lee Curtis. And they're like, that is fantastic news, Jim Cameron, who is it? And he said, it's Tom Arnold. And they're like, that is horrible news, Jim Cameron. And he's like, why do you say that? And they go, well, don't you read the tabloids? He is a crazy person. And Jim Cameron is like, no, I don't read tabloids, but I wrote this movie and he is the guy. And they're like, well, we're very sorry, Jim. We cannot approve Tom Arnold for this movie. And Jim Cameron, to his credit, said, actually, I'm sorry, because I wanted to make the movie here at Fox Studios. Now I'm gonna drive down the fucking street and make it at Paramount. And they were like, oh, okay, right? Right? They were like, oh, we'll give him a chance. Of course, I don't know this. Every day the Fox executives come to the set, I'm fucking high-fiving them like a jackass. Thanks for giving me a career. They hate me. They just waited for me to fuck up every day. So, but it was just like my dream. Very first day, Jim Cameron was like, would you like Arnold to come over to your house and trade with you? I was like, yeah, I think I'd like the greatest bodybuilder that ever lived to come to work out with me in my home gym. I think that'd be okay. So he came over the next morning and I answered the door. I'm like, oh, fuck, Arnold, I forgot you were coming. Everybody I know is here. Guys, fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger is here to work out with me in my home gym, which is somewhere in the house here, I assume. Anyway, come on in. Anyway, we work out together. Day 2, Jim Cameron calls me. You want Arnold to come back? I'm like, nope. He's like, oh my gosh, why? I go, 1, I can say I worked out with Arnold Schwarzenegger. 2, it's so much pressure, I can't handle it. Because he does this thing where he compliments one part of your body. He's like, you know, Tom, you have fantastic shin. And then he starts into my trouble spots. And I got a lot of fucking trouble spots. I already know that, okay? So I don't need that fucker telling it to me. So every night after work, after filming, I would go right to Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and he would go left to this semi-trailer truck that was retrofitted into a gym, like every night, like clockwork. But here's how I knew we were becoming best friends in real life. The movie went over time and over budget, and it started to get to Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay? And he started, one night, I'm leaving, I go, enjoy your workout. He's like, no, give me 2 pints of rum raisin. And from that point, he stopped working out. He got depressed, he gained weight. And I had drugged the most fucking positive motherfucker I've ever met in my life down to my disgusting level. I mean, that's friendship. Is that not friendship? This guy sees us every day of his life. This guy came to America with a fucking pair of short shorts and a tank top. You know what it smelled like. And that's all he had, and now he's a billionaire. And now he's on the floor of my fucking trailer with drooling fucking ice cream. And I'm like so happy. Because there's no way he was pulling me up, right? But when you can pull a dude down, that's a good feeling. Everybody knows what I'm talking. It's good. You guys, are you on social media? How crazy is social media? By the way, if you get your feelings hurt on social media, you should not be on social media. Because you may be arguing with bots or, well, you don't know who. I just have fun with it. I don't get my feelings hurt. I've been around for a long time, and I don't get my feelings hurt. I do have one little thing everybody has a thing we're sensitive about. My thing is, before every show, I run to the restroom, look in the mirror to see if I'm sweating yet, how disgusting I am. It's just a tradition, right? And last time Super Bowl was down in New Orleans, I was doing one of these shows, corporate thing. I ran to the restroom, look in the mirror, getting ready to go on stage, and I'm a masochist, so I check my Twitter feed, right? And I swear to God, it says, OMG, Tom Arnold is disgusting. He does not wash his hands after using the bathroom. And I'm like, holy shit. I tell the MC, hold the show, this is important. I go back in the bathroom, there's like 17 dudes in there, including Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Aaron Rodgers, his brother, who at the time is a quarterback. I don't know if it's a quarterback circle jerk. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I go, hey guys, listen, I don't know who just tweeted this shit, but I did not have to wash my hands because I did not pee or anything, but I am washing my hands right now in front of you assholes so that you retweet and wash my goddamn hands because that's fucking disgusting. Let me tell you something. In show business, you can murder someone. It's fine. You can murder 2 people. They'll make a fucking mini-series about you, all right? But if you don't wash your goddamn hands, you're out, okay? And by the way, I've been divorced 3 times. I wash my hands all fucking day. I don't know anything gross anymore. Are you kidding me? You meet a guy who's been divorced 3 times, ladies, marry that guy, because he's fucking scared shitless. That guy is fucking, if he's not a sociopath, he's on eggshells, I'm telling you. I don't fart anywhere near my 4th wife. Are you kidding me? I take no chances. But I used to be young, and I was cocky. I used to fart on my first wife. I mean, I thought she thought it was hilarious, And then you get to divorce court, and the judge's like, Mr. Arnold, did you fart on Roseanne's head 782 times? I'm like, yes, I did, Judge. She thinks it's hilarious. Apparently not. So guys, ease up on the gross stuff, because it turns, man. Just pace yourself. You never know. So I'm 58. I have a 4-year-old and a 22-month-old. And I know. They're great. People are like, hey, Tom, your son, when he was born, hey, you know what? Let your wife do everything until he's 7. Then he'll be fun. Then you jump in. I go, I don't know where I'll be when he's fucking 7. I better do stuff now. I'm fucking old. And by the way, kids, first lesson when you have kids, unconditional love. You think you've had unconditional love before? Fuck no, you haven't had unconditional love. Okay, your wife loves you. There's conditions. Of course there's conditions, but these fucking kids love you. You know, it's hard to have a pity party once you have kids, because you're like, oh, nobody loves me. Oh my God, they love me so much. And they love you. You can be the shittiest dad in the world and they're gonna love you. So you might as well be a good dad, am I right? Because they're fucking amazing, okay? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I had a long journey to get to these kids, and it involved a lot of women. And God bless them. Started at the University of Iowa, where I worked at the hospital school. I used to donate blood and plasma every week, $7 a piece for beer money. And it was pretty lightheaded. I was a pretty shitty student. But then I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Like, I prayed, give me a sign. And one day I came into work, there was a sign, donate sperm, $35. I was like, oh my God, that is God talking directly to me. I can do that 3 times a day. That's $105. It's nickel beer night. Oh my God, there's a towel in my bed right now that's worth $5,000 minimum. And my girlfriend to wash it or throw it away because it was disgusting. Now it's a fucking gold mine. Fuck her. Anyway, I go home, get my 5 roommates with that towel, put it in the trunk, of course, and go to the University of Iowa fertility clinic. We come running in there like fucking yahoos. Or like, slow down, boys, we need to test you guys first. They test us. Doctor comes back, pulls me out of the herd. He's like, I got some bad news, Mr. Arnold. You cannot be a part of our program. You don't have enough swimmers. I was like, really? How many swimmers do I have? And he's like, 4. I was like, 4. That sounds fine. How many would your average man have? And he's like, 3 million. I was like, listen, fucker, I'll do the jokes. Why don't you be a doctor, okay? And he's like, I am a doctor. I don't do jokes. I am a genius. I probably have Asperger's, okay? I have no sense of humor whatsoever. The average man has 3 million sperm and you have 4. You will never get a woman pregnant the normal way. And I was like, see, that's so much better. Oh my God. Now, I was sad about $35, but I was relieved because I went to school right before the terrible diseases came out. So I knew the worst thing I could do to a woman in that moment was maybe sweat on her and give her a staph infection, okay? But then I turned 30, I got married, and I wanted to have a family. That's all I've ever wanted. And my poor wives, you know, to do IVF, to do in vitro, even though it was my physiological issue, even though my testicles allegedly did not descend immediately at birth, they have descended since. And if anything like my Uncle Bob, they're gonna keep descending. I don't know why he wears fucking bike shorts. Anyway, the poor woman has to take the hormone shots. The poor woman has to have the procedures, even though it's the man's fault. So I said to every wife, we don't have to, let's do a sperm donor. Let's adopt. I don't want you to have to suffer like that. By the way, I lived next door to Shaquille O'Neal the whole time he played for the Lakers. Right next door. And that fucking dude, he made beautiful children. And when I was a kid in Iowa, you go to your next door neighbor and say, can I borrow a cup of sugar? They'd fucking loan you a cup of sugar, okay? And there's so many times I'd have those cups at a fertility clinic, and I'd see Shaq out there in the cul-de-sac with his kids. I'd like, God damn it, Tom, sack up and go get a fucking cup of Shaq over there, man. If I had a 7-foot-tall black son, I'd be the happiest Jew in fucking mall in the States. I'll tell you that right now. So, anyway, but my wife said, bless them all, all wanted to go through the rigmarole and all the procedures and take the hormone shots. And there are side effects to those hormone shots, guys. And if you notice the side effects to those hormone shots, do not mention the side effects to those hormone shots. I came home one day, my beautiful wife, Ashley, was full on weeping. And there's nothing scarier than seeing the woman you love weeping. Am I right, guys? Because your first thought is, A, did I do that? And B, even if I didn't, I gotta fix it because fucking SportsCenter's on in 4 minutes. What is going on? What's going on, honey? I'm so scared. And she's like, oh my God, it's the hormone shots, honey. I've gained 7 pounds. I'm like, oh, who gives a shit? I've been with much fatter women. And she's like, oh my God, you're an asshole. I go, that didn't sound right. I didn't say that right. What I'm saying, what I really meant was, I wouldn't care if you gained 70 pounds. She's like, you're an asshole. I'm like, shit. No real man would ever intentionally hurt the feelings of the woman they love, but we do hurt the feelings of the women we love. And it's not because we're assholes, it's because we're stupid. That was a stupid thing. Believe me, I will not repeat those words. I get it. I came in one day, and my ex-wife was getting makeup on, and I heard the makeup artist say she'd gotten a facelift. I heard my ex-wife say, I'm getting a facelift too. To which I said, oh, hell if you are, honey. Obviously, I don't care what you look like. And next thing I know, he fucking lashed on the side of my head, scratching the shit out of me. We're wrestling in Judd Apatow's grandma's front yard. And I'm so confused because, of course I meant, honey, I love you unconditionally. But unfortunately, what she heard was what I said. And so, watch out for that, guys. Seriously. So, I have everything I ever dreamed of. I mean, beyond my wildest dreams, all because of my wife. And so, my wife never asked me to do a show. She used to work on Saturday Night Live in the wardrobe department, so she hates show business. And she never asked me to do a show. One day she's looking over my shoulder and I get a request for this show called Tyler Henry Hollywood Medium. It's a show on the E! Channel. And she goes, do that. I want to get a reading from that guy. First of all, my wife believes in psychics and mediums. I don't. And so I'm like, what is a medium? She goes, he talks to dead people. I'm like, holy shit, on TV? She goes, yes. And I think, okay, this would be a great opportunity to prove my wife wrong once and for all. Okay? So I had this kid come over. He's a gay kid from a small town, so I'm feeling for him. So he comes over, and first thing he does when he walks into my house, he does the medium stuff. He's like, your mother is here, and she's sorry. Which you could say in anybody's house, basically, right? So at the end, he does the psyche stuff. So this is awesome. You can see it if you watch the E! Channel. You can see him do this. And I'm so psyched for this, because this is where I'm going to get him and get my wife. And he goes, do you have any questions? I go, yes. Are we going to have any more children? And I know that's physically impossible. I know it's just, and he draws on his little thing and he goes, yes. And I look at Ashley like, oh, I got him. But I thought, I got him down. I'm going to put my boot on his neck, though. I go, hey, Tyler, are we going to have a boy or a girl? And he's like, you're going to have a girl. I'm like, oh, my God. So I walk up to the door. I'm very nice to him, by the way. And as I turn around, my wife says something she's never said. My spine is tingling thinking about it. She goes, you're right. He's full of shit. And I was going to gloat, but I did this move. I'm sorry, honey, because I know how much it meant to her. 72 hours later, I'm sitting in my office. I get a call from this cryo bank in Long Beach, California. And they're like, we can't find your new business manager. You owe us $700. I go, what for? We have a frozen embryo from 4 years ago from you and Ashley. Ashley hears that. She gets in her car, 120 miles an hour to Long Beach, California. They shoot that fucking frozen ice cube up in her hoo-ha. And 9 months to the day, my daughter Quinn was born. That is a fact. So that's... So, these kids, you know, we being veterans, to my veteran friends that are here, I spent yesterday watching videos of veterans coming home and surprising their families. You guys ever see those? I mean, how awesome is that, right? And you weep seeing that. And I've been to Afghanistan, I've been to those places, but that's what I want my wife. I want, when I get home tonight, I want her out in Benedict Canyon, like, where's that guy just coming up and loving on me and hugging me and weeping? She's not gonna do that, because I had a dad till I was 57 years old, which my daughter will not have a dad when she's 57 years old, unless I'm literally the world's oldest man. I was very lucky. My dad was a single father. When he was 22, he had me. I was 4, my sister was 3, my brother was 1. And it didn't seem unusual, but it's pretty unusual from small town in Iowa where we're from. And we always thought my dad was boring, because all he did was go to work, come home with us. Whereas my Uncle Bob, the one with the long nutsack, he was a crazy person. He drank, went to a lot of sporting events, got in fights, got arrested, was a nudist, went to Burning Man. We're like, why can't you be like Uncle Bob? He's an alcoholic, But as I got older, I got to appreciate my dad. And our next door neighbor is a guy named Old Man Johnson. And Old Man Johnson hated me because, as my dad would always say, you call him Old Man Johnson. And he had no thumbs, Old Man Johnson. A lot of people in Iowa have no thumbs, farming accidents. And a lot of times they'll take their big toe and have it sewed where their thumb was, and they fucking love shaking your hand just to fuck with you. I'm not even kidding you. But Old Man Johnson had no thumbs, so he couldn't operate the big mower, so I got to mow his field every Friday for $5, which was a good job for a kid, right? Old Man Johnson, when he got up in age, he lived alone, and he got sick. And my dad never told me the story. I heard it from somebody else. But he lost control of his bodily functions. My dad left the plant every day at lunch, went and cleaned him up, same thing after work, and put him to bed every night for 8 years. And so, when I heard that story, I thought, that's actually what a real man does. My Uncle Bob is awesome, but that's what a real man does. So, in Iowa, where I'm from, people work at the plant, they retire at 65, then they get another job. And that's what my dad did. He was working at a hospital with his doctor friends, but he wouldn't go to the doctor. And so I talked to him on a Wednesday, and I could tell something was wrong. And he said, Tommy, the mobile oncology unit is coming to Ottumwa in 3 months, so I'm going to see them then. And I said, there's an ambulance coming to the house, and you're going to Des Moines, which is our big city right now. And so on Thursday morning, he got diagnosed with cancer everywhere. And the doctor said he had to have been in serious pain for a year, which is the difference between my dad and I, because on day one, I would have been like right here. So I'm blessed that my father didn't suffer. He died 4 days later. I'm blessed that I got to go there and have lucid time with my dad. By now, I'm the oldest of 7 kids. So selfishly, I needed to have a moment with him to let him know I loved him and I appreciate him, and I was trying to be like him. Not there, but trying to be. I needed that moment to go on, right? And it's selfish, but I needed that. So I'm sitting around, and my dad in his hospital room, and my dad has to use the bathroom, and my 4 younger brothers scatter because they're huge pussies. And so I pick my dad up, carry him in the toilet, put him on the toilet. He does his business, and as I'm cleaning him up, our eyeballs are this far apart, and I know he can see in my soul. I can see in his soul, and it's that moment I needed, and I know he knew how much I loved him and appreciated him, and selfishly, I got that moment, and I picked him up afterwards. I carried him up, put him in bed. 3 hours later, my stepmother got to the hospital. Dad had to use the toilet again, so I pick him up, carry him in there, put him on the toilet, get toilet paper ready to go. My stepmother's like, Tommy, what are you doing? I go, well, I'm gonna wipe Dad's butt. She's like, why? He wipes his own butt. And handed me the paper, and he wiped his own butt this time. Anyway, I've been on a lot of diets. Best diet ever, and this diet had the police involved. You can Google this. You know the diet's good if the police are involved, right? Jenny Craig. Jenny Craig, you've heard of her. She's amazing. Jenny Craig offered me and my ex-wife $10 million to lose 20 pounds. Who here could not lose 20 pounds for $10 fucking million? I know 2 fat fuckers who could not lose 20 pounds. And in our defense, let me tell you something. In America, there was some kind of game show scandal in the 50s, so it's like a federal offense to lie about losing weight. You can't fake it and do commercials. They have a scientist weigh you. And that's like a lot of pressure, and that fucking pressure makes you hungry. I'm gonna tell you right now. And they just come out with these new Jenny Craig ice cream bars and say it's just like real ones. I was having like 20 of those for breakfast. Jenny Craig buffet at lunch, Jenny Craig buffet at dinner. About a week into it, I'm like, hey, Rosie, I don't know about you, but I'm fucking gaining weight on Jenny Craig. She's like, me too. Here's the thing, we're idiots. It's not unlimited Jenny Craig because it's diet food. It's 1 meal per meal, and you will lose a lot of weight. And we're like, holy shit, we need to regroup. People think we're insane. We could build a school with $10 million, and we can afford to lose 20 pounds, let's be honest. So we decided to do emergency husband and wife diet. If you've ever been on an emergency husband and wife diet, they are complicated, but that's all we can do. So 24/7, we decide. We'll tough love each other. We'll be each other's sponsor, okay? We bump fists. We're in it. Very next day, I came home from work. I walk in the kitchen, and my wife is finishing off a giant bag of Jenny Craig chocolate chip cookies. And I'm like, fuck that, because I'm her sponsor, right? So I tough love her. I go over there and crush the bag of cookies. And I guess it scared her, because next to the bag of cookies was a block of wood with 8 knives in it. It's in every kitchen, right? And it must scared her, because she pulls out a knife, and I'm like, hey, you're not gonna, oh, you are gonna stab me, okay. Now, a lot of times in that marriage, I thought, what do normal people do under these circumstances? Do they call 911? It seems like the right thing to do, but I'm gonna give you a heads up. They tape record your calls, then they play them on the news. Then you sound like a fucking asshole, okay? 911, yes, Tom Arnold. Rosie's eating a big bag of Jenny Craig chocolate chip cookies. I'm her sponsor, so I crushed it, and I scared her, and then she fucking accidentally stabbed me. Oh my God, she fucked up my skinny shirt. My skinny shirt is all fucked up. Anyway, hello. Okay, we'll handle it in-house. We handled it in-house. We were, she felt terrible. It's not even her fault. She felt terrible. She was super nice to me for 3 hours in a row after that. Trust me, it got creepy after an hour. It did, and we laughed about it. It's one of those things, marriage. You laugh about, you chuckle about, but as you can read on the internet, Jenny Craig, on the other hand, heard the story, and she did not laugh about it. And she fired us and, humiliated us publicly, because that wasn't the branding she was going for with the commercial campaign. Jenny Craig, you'll be so hungry, you will stab your fucking husband. Jenny Craig. So The next movie is a movie called 9 Months. And a guy named Hugh Grant is co-starring with me. And Hugh Grant is this British actor, and he's super sexy. He just done a movie called 4 Weddings and a Funeral, and he's super hot. And Julianne Moore was his wife, and Jodie Cusack was mine. And this is going to be amazing. And the great Robin Williams played our doctor. And Robin Williams, everything good you ever heard about Robin Williams is true, and then some. And Robin, if I called him at 3 in the morning and said, so-and-so's in trouble, whether you knew him or not, he'd be like, let's go get him. So that's all you need to know about Robin Williams, because he was that kind of a guy. He's the best. But Robin was doing a smaller part in this movie as a favor to the director who just directed Mrs. Doubtfire. So he wasn't there the first 2 weeks. So the first 2 weeks, it was Hugh Grant and I's movie. And we were the cocks of the walk. We were best friends instantly, by the way. High-fiving, a lot of stuff like that. It was just awesome. And we were the cocks of the walk on that set. And then Robin Williams showed up in week 3. And you don't realize how big of a piece of shit you are until you see how much people fucking love Robin Williams. It is fucking breathtaking. It is stunning. We're like, holy shit. Hugh, come here. What the fuck is the deal with Robin Williams? Look at him over there. Being so fucking nice to everybody. What is his problem? Trying to make us look bad. The camera's not even on. What is he doing? Robin, halfway through that movie, Robin came up one day. He's like, Tom, because we were filming in San Francisco. You can imagine how much weight we were gaining, right? Going out every day. He's like, Tom, do you want to go on a diet with me? Crash diet. I'm like, I absolutely do. He goes, do you not want to know what it is? I go, I don't give a shit. I've gained and lost 100 pounds 3 times, Robin. Doctors say that's super good for you. I know it's been good for my skin, which my shirt will remain on. He's like, here's the details. Unlimited turkey, mustard, and then he goes, I went down to Chinatown. I got these herbs. That's it. Turkey, mustard, herbs. We're going to shred. And man, we did shred. And it was working super good. And one day I'm sitting in makeup and Rob comes in. He's like, hold stop. Come here, come here. He goes, hey, oh my God, did you think you were having a heart attack last night? And I was like, yes, I did. I thought he was having a heart attack every night since we started this diet. I thought that meant the diet was working. He's like, no, I fucked up. Those herbs are like fen-phen or something. You have to stop immediately. I'm like, okay. But I loved him so much if he'd been like, we're doubling down on the herbs, Tom. I would have been like, okay, Robin, I will have a heart attack with you, fucker. I met my wife now, and we started slow, and and it just was, it was this magic, and she only had one real question for me. She wanted to know if I was an animal lover. And you'd have to be an asshole to not be an animal lover, right? And plus, as I told her, I worked at a meatpacking plant for 3 years. I love them. I know a lot about them, a lot of details that people don't know, like what's inside their eyeballs, fun stuff, fun facts. I go, why are you asking? She goes, well, I got a very girly little feminine dog, and I wondered if you'd be embarrassed to take her out to do her business. At the time we lived on Wilshire Boulevard, across the street from TMZ. She goes, they might take your picture. I go, oh my God, they've taken my picture doing truly disgusting things. I'd be honored to take your girly little dog out. I go, what kind of dog is this? She goes, it's a miniature toy poodle with curly red hair named Lucy. I was like, after Lucille Ball? She's like, yes. I go, she's one of my fucking heroes. And then she gave me the great news. Lucy is 16 and a half years old. I was like, oh my God. So you're talking a 3 to 6 month commitment with this dog. Oh my God. Because there ain't a lot of 17-year-old dogs on the farm. Let's be honest. Quality of life to a farmer means so much. We love animals so much that if that quality of life goes down, it's a beautiful story, people. We take that animal because we don't want them to suffer, and we take them on a walk in the pasture up over the hill. You can't really see what happens over that hill, but it's a beautiful thing. And they end up on something called a rainbow bridge, and they get all their faculties back, and they are not buried in a ditch, It's a beautiful thing. My wife was not from a farm. She's from the big city, and that dog is still alive. I don't know how fucking old that dog is. That's a fucking old dog. That dog's quality of life is shit. It has one eye and one tooth. It's alive totally based on his fucking hatred for me. I'm not even shitting you. A fucking dog, if it needed a liver transplant, it was $100,000. It'd be on the list for a fucking liver transplant right now. That's how my wife is. I wake up every day, I'm like, Lucy, Liz, get up. We got to do your business. Luce. Oh, shit. Honey, wake up. I got some bad news. Okay, but you got to promise not to be sad. Okay, I'm not going to tell you. Let's promise not to be sad. Okay, good. Lucy's dead, all right? Everybody, oh, fuck, she's alive. Go back to sleep. God damn it. The one thing is my third marriage, we had 20 dogs. Not an exaggeration, 20 dogs. So Ashley and I, as we're talking over what our marriage is going to be like, I said, one dog at a time. One dog limit, we called it. It's our little thing. And Ashley, she loves animals, goes to all these dog rescues, so it's so tempting for her. So last year she was at this dog rescue. She's like, oh my God, I'm here at the rescue. They got the cutest little Bichon mix down here named Maggie. And if I don't adopt her right now, they're gonna put her down. She does have one minor issue, but don't worry, the trainer can fix it. I go, oh my God, what is this minor issue this perfect little dog has that makes it okay to put her down? And she's like, well, she's a poop eater, but don't worry.